Okay, so magic loop. Magic loop, essentially, you need a long cable because what you're going to be doing is you're going to be knitting on your work this way in the middle of your cable. So you can have one bunny loop on one side and another loop on the other side. I call them bunny ears or magic loop. But essentially you'll have stitches on the needle and in the middle of your cable, and allowing you to have as few as 4 stitches to work through or as many as hundreds. So it's an amazing technique, way of knitting. So I'm going to cast on using the Tilly Buddy Very Stretchy Cast On, and then I'll show you how to join to work on the magic loop. And that's 40 stitches. I've cast it on for my sock. So basically now, how do I start my magic loop? I want to divide this into 20 and 20, so into half. So I'm going to count 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, which is right here. And I'm going to bring it onto my cable so that I can pull a loop right through in the middle here. So I'm just going to go ahead and pull my cable through so that I can divide my work now into 2. So I have 20 stitches on one side and I have 20 stitches on the other side. The one thing you really need to be very careful about is here that the stitches aren't twisted. If you notice, all my knobs are facing inwards into the middle of my cable. If I had something like this, my stitches are twisted and I'm going to have a Mobius cast on, which is not good for socks or hats or anything that you want to wear with a closed end, because you won't be able to get it on. So you really want to try and make sure that all the knobs, all the stitches are facing in the same direction. And the same thing here. Make sure that when you pull the yarn, the cable through, you didn't twist it here, because then there's nothing you can do about it. You have to start over again if you do start off with a Mobius. Once I'm here, I have my working yarn coming out of this stitch, this needle. So I'm going to have to work on this stitch next to close it off, right? So if I wanted to close this with this one, I need to start working this stitch next. So what I need to do to work that one, I need to bring my needle to the edge on that side and push my stitches up onto my needle tip. I guess I cast it on tighter than I thought I did. Okay. So there we go. I have my stitches that I need to work on top of my needle, on the needle. And now I'm going to just make sure everything is not twisted again. That means my working yarn needs to come this way. And now it's hard for me to work like this, so I have to pull this needle out. And now I'm ready to start working. And you'll notice I have one loop here and one loop on this side. I've got my working yarn here ready to go. All my stitches, all my knobs and everything are facing inside. There's nothing twisted. And I'm going to start working a knit 2, purl 2 for my rib. So knit 2 and purl 2, and I'm going to work all the way to the end of this needle. So I'm getting to the end of that first needle, purl 2, 1 and 2. When I finished, I haven't finished a full round, because a full round would mean knitting through these stitches and the ones here, and then that's a full round for socks. So I've only done half. I need to go knit these. So I'm going to turn my needles clockwise. I'm just turning clockwise. And now the stitches I need to knit on are again up here, and my working yarn is coming out from down here. So I'm going to again pull, I'm going to hold on to this so I don't lose my stitches, and I'm going to pull my cable on the top until my needle gets to my stitches, and I push it in. Okay. These two stitches you might find are a little tight to get through because of the yarn here, which has been pulling it to try and keep it close. So it's the first row is always finicky. So once you get it through, then we're here. And again, now to be able to work with my lower needle, I need to pull it out. And now I'm ready to continue with my knit 2, purl 2 on this side. And so now I'm getting to the end of that second needle, and that completes my first round of my sock cuff in the magic loop. So I know it looks messy, but so I've done one round. Now I'm ready to do my second round. So again, I turn my work clockwise, and my working yarn is coming from the bottom, and I need to go and work on the stitches here. So I again hold my needle and I pull my cable through, push my stitches up, much easier now, pull my bottom needle out, and then find my working yarn and go ahead and knit 2, purl 2 all the way across, spin my knitting clockwise, push my stitches onto my top needle, pull my bottom needle out, and work across these. And I just keep going round and round in that motion until I have, usually it's about 2 inches that they need for a cuff.